Let me say this, as you all know, Eric's, is this your last day? The last time any of us will have to hear this with him running things. We've been together a long time, from colleagues to friends to family, he and Stephanie. He's been talking to me about this for a year, maybe longer. We had David Scott. We had Martin Newton. We had Dwayne Peavy. All these guys look and say, look, I like what I'm doing, but this is all consuming. And when you have a young family, you start making decisions. And I support whatever he does the rest of his life. He's going to have me in his corner, his family. And family's not a one-way deal. Like what you can do for me, we're family, but when it's my time, this guy has carried the ball for me. He has been the bad guy so that every once in a while I can be the good guy. So we're going to miss him. Deb's going to step in his shoes, and you got TJ here, so it's going to be covered. But it's hard to replace a guy like Eric. But you know what? This is all part of the growth of individual people, and so I'm happy for him.
I'll get right into questions. Go ahead. John Hale, start with you.
Now, any update on Sabir? Did he practice yesterday?
He did practice yesterday.
Do you think that means he's going to play tomorrow?
My guess is, unless something happens today in practice, that he'll be available tomorrow.
John Wong?
John, I watched that video that you made imploring everybody to wear KN95 masks. I thought you did a good job, but you look around Rupp Arena and you see less than half the people wearing masks of any kind. Why did you feel compelled to kind of weigh in on a topic that you knew would be controversial and maybe even a little bit divisive?
I don't know divisive, but I knew it would make people mad at me. But yeah, I've had a lot of people mad at me and for a long time, and so I'm fine with that. But here's what happened. I called Dr. Capilouto, and I said, talk to me about what's happening on this campus and what do you think, what other measures we can take to mitigate. He said, this thing you really don't know, but I would guess the next 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to be hot. And then our hope is it goes down. And so I said, well, we're boosted, we're vaccinated, we're mitigating. I said, what else? He said, KN95 mask would be the best. And if you can convince them to wear it, I think that will do what it can to help. Now, that's why I said it. We all, staff and players, have the KN95s. Ellen ordered online, and you're right. You go into Rupp. I'm not going to mandate masks. I'm saying let's do this collectively for our state. Now, 91% of the faculty and staff and students are vaccinated on this campus, which means if they get it, they're not going to get a major issue. But you still don't want them to get it because there's so much we don't know about this thing. But it's blowing through our state right now. It is. And wearing a mask, being vaccinated, having a booster helps. And it helps protect everybody. Now, that may make you mad. It ain't political. No one really knows. I've never talked about where I am politically. Everybody thinks they know, but they don't know. This isn't political. This is more, let's stay safe. Somebody told me they got mad because I said 2 weeks. I only said that because everybody's saying it's going to be hot. How about this? Maybe it's 3 weeks. Maybe it's 1 week, and we see a decline, and we're able to move back. But that was my reasoning, and I knew it would make some people mad, but I think it was the right thing to say. Not trying to aggravate anybody. I'm not trying to play politics. Just trying to keep people safe.
You think people will listen to you?
Well, we beat Vandy, so they'll probably listen more.
Tucker, go ahead.
Now, what do you, with Severe likely coming back, what do you think was the biggest benefit to TyTy of this time where he talked about maybe growing more comfortable and hearing from teammates, hey, you have a voice too, you can step up, he's playing with so many veterans. What do you think was the biggest benefit of this week or so that he had to be kind of in charge?
Made it more aggressive. Can't be afraid to make errors. You're not being taken out for missed shots. If you don't work, if you don't sprint, if you don't attempt to rebound, if you get absolutely bullied, you're coming out. Not because you make an aggressive play and the ball doesn't go in. You'll come out for not shooting balls more than you will for missing shots. You want to talk TyTy, what about Davion? Davion is played out of his mind. And there's one guy late in the game that I would say I'm really comfortable with shooting the ball, and it would be him. But he's fighting. He fights the post. You know, he'll make a couple plays a half where he can't help himself. He'll just come down, go baseline, and look away, throw one through four guys late. One or two a half, I just got to accept. But the rest of the time, he's doing all the right stuff. Engaged in the practice plan, engaged in the scouting report. Now you have he and Ty elevated. Hopefully it helps our team.
John Clay, you got next.
Your friend Rick Barnes has had some pretty good success over the last 2 or 3 years here. Has there been a thread to those games?
John, you kind of had an echo. So I think you said Rick has had some success here, and he has. His teams are physical. They're well coached. Their shot selection, their ability to rebound. When you see it's a cross-body blockout. I mean, they're coming at bodies, and that's been his game. If you're not ready to physically play, you'll stand out in this game. Everybody in the gym will say, get him out. Can't play in this game. It's too physical. But he's got good players. He always has had good players. Like I told him, he's done yeoman's work. And now, you guys know I hate playing friends, but, it's the next game, so let's play it.
Aaron Tipton, back to you and John Hale.
Yeah, to follow up on that, Tennessee's won the last 2 years. Teams don't win 3 in a row in Kentucky very often. What do you think of that as maybe a motivating factor for your guys to prevent that kind of history?
If I had a veteran team that had been through 2 of those, I would say, yeah. If I asked this team, how many games has Tennessee won in a row in our building, they'll say, I have no idea. So it's kind of a different deal. It's like this game's a rivalry. Well, they haven't been here. And most of the games that are rivalries are more a rivalry on the other side than with us. Just how it is. This game, I think they understand. These are 2 good teams. Last year, I think we've had some success up there, maybe. I wouldn't know. But he's a good coach. It's going to be a war. It will not be won in the first 5 minutes unless they're on absolute fire. It'll be a 40-minute who has it last kind of game. Now, let me say this to our fans. Get there early so we don't have all the complaints, and we'll make sure Shaden is on the court working out, and you could say, I saw Shaden. And it'll be like, what is that book? Where's Waldo? You could say, where's Shaden? I saw him. He was on the court. I was down there watching him warm up.
One other thing, you said this game is going to be not a first-round knockout. Where do you think you guys are in terms of late-game execution and keeping poised and so on?
Well, we've really been working on it, so it showed that last game, the work we put in. I think it was 16-0 in 4 minutes. So the job I've done to teach them the last 4 minutes has been really good. Whatever I was doing, I better try something different. But that's why you need to be in good games, physical games, games that you got to finish off at the end, games on the road where you got to finish off at the end. These are all experiences for us. Just like I don't want players to do this game to game. You want to know, are we getting better as a team? Are we finishing better? Yeah, you want to win every game you play, but you can't put the weight of the world on one game because it's a long season. You're seeing a lot of people now getting beat. You're seeing scores that shouldn't be close that are really close because we're in the middle of conference play. Conference play is way different.
John Hale in the back to Kyle.
I think you all only have maybe 3 or 4 games left in hard against top 50 teams. Do you think your guys are ready for this kind of gauntlet that's coming up?
That's a great thing about playing the games. We're going to find out. I'm worried about one game, Saturday at 1. How do we play in this game? That's the only thing I'm focused on. I don't even know who the next game is. I know it's hard because everybody's told me your next 4 games are a gauntlet, but I'll figure out after 3 o'clock who's the next game.
Kyle Tucker.
That's how you kind of made the joke about Shane working out. Andy, he was obviously there with you. It looked like he went through pretty much the whole 3-game routine, even the stretching. Is some of that getting him acclimated? And also, I guess he counts against, if you get down to some situation, the seven healthy scholarship players, I guess he counts against that for you all in a pinch like that. He would.
I don't know. I mean, if he's not ready to play, I would not put him out there. I mean, I would say, come on, this kid just came here. How do you make us, that you can't do that to the kid unless he's ready. If he's ready, I say, let's go. But he practiced yesterday. He's going to practice today. We're doing stuff with him. Pace of game, like a normal freshman, the speed, the intensity, the spirit of it, talking more. He's way behind in those areas. But his skill set and what he does and is comfortable when you put him in different situations, he's good there. But it's the most important stuff, the speed of the game, the aggressiveness of the game, how hard you have to play and talk. You can't take possessions off. You just can't. And so he's learning all that, and we'll learn it on the run.
Anything else for Coach? All right, we'll let Coach go. We'll get the normal stuff to you later this afternoon. Thank you. John Hale, you can go first.
Davion, Cal's talked a lot recently about improving your play in the last 4 minutes as a team. What's the key for you guys, assuming you're going to probably play a bunch of close games in this stretch coming up?
Yeah, just to notice the situation that's going on, like we're up or down, and just, take advantage if we are up and clock time. And then we've just been working on finishing, like how we're going to finish plays. When grind the clock out into the last 10 seconds and then get into our set in order to, hit the shot and seal the game. And then just, making free throws, hitting those daggers at the end of games. That's really what we've been working on, and just trying to not fall off, take advantage of what we've done for the whole game and just seal it out.
Jerry Tipton, go ahead.
Yeah, Davion, I wanted to follow up on that. I wondered what happened down the stretch at Vandy. You guys had that well under control, then they score the last 16 points, whatever it was.
Yeah.
What do you think happened?
Yeah, I mean, what Coach says is, playing not to lose. We kind of were in a situation where I guess it felt like we were already winning that game and it was already won, and then we're like, all right, let's hurry up, let's get out of here. And we can't have that type of energy because, like you said, that spreads. And every time that we're winning and we need to use that, you know, to work on the next game and the next game. Like, just play the game situational, you know, as if we're not even looking at the score. So, and that's a maturity thing. That's what coach talks to us about. And that's what we're just going to continue to work on, you know, sealing games out.
And if I can ask one more, I wonder, Tennessee's won the last 2 times they've played at Kentucky. Teams doesn't happen very often where a team wins here 3 straight times. How motivational is it to avoid that kind of history or anything like that?
Yeah, that's my first time actually hearing that. So, I mean, that's definitely a motivating factor. You know, like 3 times is like almost domination. So we definitely have to try to end that streak that they have going. You know, that's why we have the fan base that we have. That's why we have the type of university that we have. I mean, we're very competitive here, so I'm definitely looking forward, and I know my teammates are this Saturday.
Thanks.
John Hill, we'll circle back to you.
Yeah, given that you guys are still trying to prove yourselves against a ranked team, what do you think when you look at the schedule coming up and see all these big games, like 4 Saturdays in a row?
Yeah, that's really good for us. I mean, some here, some on the road. So, I mean, you definitely get an equal balance. But, I mean, the SEC is a very competitive conference. As you know, like, anything can happen. But that's what prepares you, you know. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And, I mean, that's going to be really exciting. I think it's at, Auburn next Saturday, a really big time arena. It's going to be fun. I mean, all I can think about is just fun. That's why we play the game.
Nick Roush, you got next?
I'm curious, Davion, is there any differences, particularly for you, when Sabir is playing point versus when TyTy is at point guard?
Yeah, I mean, they both definitely have 2 different playing styles. Like, TyTy is more like methodical. He's going to take his time. He's like super patient. And I mean, so is Sabir, but it's at a completely different pace. Like, Sabir's flying it. It's going super fast. But I mean, both of their playing styles are really well, but yeah, they're definitely different for sure.
John Hill, back to you.
David, obviously you've gotten somewhat of the full Rivalry experience this year, but this is really your first big home game since you got to Kentucky in front of a full crowd, because all your big games have been away from home this year. Just what kind of is the feelings about the environment you're expecting tomorrow?
I'm super excited. I mean, the BBN family, like, they show up, even if it's exhibition, if it's, you know, whatever it is, they're going to be here. So I'm kind of, you know, anticipating what I'm used to seeing. But I'm super excited. Like, I really love playing here, and it's definitely different than what it was last year. So I am, like, very excited. I came back just to feel that energy and be in this environment. But like you said, it's a noon or 1 o'clock game tomorrow. So if these people pack this place out and give us the energy that we need tomorrow, that's special.
Jerry, back to you.
Davion, it seems like you're on a good streak shooting-wise. I'm wondering how the season has evolved for you think, as a shooter.
Yeah, you know, it started out rough. Well, it actually wasn't as bad. And then I had got ill, and then I came back. Timing and rhythm was just off. But, you know, that's what it is. It's a roller coaster. I mean, you just have to stay committed. Like, one moment it could be really well. One moment, you know, it can go back downhill. So you never just get too high or too low on yourself. You just keep working, staying in the gym. And that's what I've been doing. And it's paying off. So I'm just continuing to keep working.
Thanks.
Tyler Thompson.
Davion, you guys lost to Tennessee at Rupp last year, but you won in Knoxville, and you had a really, really good game. I think you had like 5 threes. What were your memories of that game?
Man, that memory, it was a great game. I came out feeling it, and then I just couldn't stop. Like, once I get in that mode and I see 1 or 2 go in my mind, like, I just got to keep going. And I mean, I've hit that mode a couple times, so I know what it feels like. And I think my teammates at the time knew what was going on with me, so we just kept going. And the environment was great. I think my dad started arguing with some of the people upstairs, and Devin Askew's dad and like a bunch of the parents was all rooting together. So that was a moment where we weren't just unified on the court. Our families and everybody was sticking together up there too, because their fans got a little rowdy even during COVID. So I mean, that was pretty funny. I mean, all my family and friends were there too, so it was dope. It was a dope experience just because, you know, of the circumstances we were under last year. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to having a really good game and hopefully same turnout that we did there this year here tomorrow.
Anything else for Davion? Got a few more minutes left here with him if you got any questions. All right, we will let Davion get up. Hold on. John Long with one.
All right.
Go ahead, John.
Hey, Davion, you mentioned about the game being at 1 o'clock. I mean, what does the early start mean for you, and what are some of the things that you have to do differently to prepare for something like that? Are you a morning person?
It just depends. It depends on what day you ask me. Am I a morning person? But a lot changes. We have to wake up a lot earlier, probably 7:30. Like everyone on our team agrees, and it's not mandatory. It goes to show you the type of team that we have. Coach asks us, you know, do we want to have a shoot around the day of an early morning game? And everyone is like, yes, we do. So that means we have to be in the gym about 8 o'clock, and that's usually what time we'll have breakfast on a regular game day. So. I mean, it's just a lot earlier, getting your body flowing and getting prepared at a way earlier time, 6 hours ahead. So, I mean, it's fun, and we have the team to do it. Guys really are super engaged. So, I mean, it's fun.
Are you saying that everybody agrees to get up that early? I mean, surely there are one or two that would rather stay in bed at that time.
Yeah, and I might be the one or two. I don't know. But I will say majority rules. So, I mean, if 6, 7 guys say, well, about 8 guys say, yeah, then you don't have a choice. You fall into that group. So that's what it is. And it seems to work. So.
Who on the team is the most rah-rah, get up early kind of guy?
Geez, there's a couple. Like, I know Jacob, he'll get up early. Kellen, he's a early, get up guy. And I mean, there's a couple, just to list a few, but I mean, guys are super engaged, and sometimes our early morning shoot-arounds are a little bit better than our regular, days. So.
All right, anything else for Davion? All right, guys, give us a few minutes and we'll get TyTy in here. Those questions. Gary Tipton, go ahead.
Yeah, TyTy, Davion was just on here, and somebody asked him about comparing you and Xavier. And he said one of the things that marked your game was your patience, kind of letting and taking advantage of what's going on. I'm wondering what that's a product of, because sometimes freshmen can, be in a hurry.
Just growing up my whole life playing the game of basketball, I never been sped up or rushed or anything like that. I always played at my own pace. I mean, I understand I'm not the fastest or the most athletic, so, I just, play at my own pace, just use my IQ, my awareness to get to my spots and stuff like that.
And I wondered, too, you made your first shot at Vandy, and I think you've made your first shot in several games in a row now. What, is that just a coincidental thing, you know what I mean? Or does that have significance to you?
I mean, whenever I make my first shot, I feel like it's always going to be a good day for me. I just stay in the gym, and the shots I shoot during my workouts and in practice are the same shots I shoot in the game. So I know, it's like second nature to me when I'm shooting it. I always think it's going to go in.
Thanks.
Kyle Tucker, go ahead.
Yeah, TyTy, you talk about playing at your own pace and sort of playing within yourself, playing within the team. How much easier is that to do when you're surrounded by 4 guys pretty much at all times, or most of the time, who understand college basketball, who played a bunch of college basketball, they're going to be in the right spots, sort of do the right things? How much of all those veteran guys around you allowed you to play this way?
It's good. I mean, like you said, I play with a lot of vets, so like they all know the tricks and the trade to the game. They know how to play. Like they've been in college, so like they all know like what to expect and all that. So when I'm playing the way I'm playing, they just encourage me to continue to be who I am, continue to be myself, and at the end of the day, they just want me to help us get to a win.
Nick Rouse, we'll go to you next.
Those vets, they've played in a lot of big games, big time environments. This might be your first big game environment against a rival. What have you thought about that? How have you played out this game in your head? And I guess what are you looking forward to?
To be honest, I really haven't looked at it in my head or anything like that. I'm just looking at it as another game. I know when it comes Saturday when we finally get onto the court to warm up and stuff, then that's I'm gonna be really okay, this is a rivalry game. But until then, I'm just looking at it as another game. Continue to worry about myself and our team and how we're gonna get better. And I just feel like on Saturday when we come out, if everything goes good, we should be able to take care of business.
Gary Tippin, we'll go back to you.
Tennessee's won the last 2 times they've played at Kentucky. Teams don't win 3 in a row at Kentucky very often. How motivating is that to prevent that kind of history?
It's very motivating. First of all, it's our home court, so we always want to defend that with pride. This is where we pretty much, if we were to go to sleep in the gym, this would be the gym we would sleep in. So it's like this is our home. We got to protect our home at all costs. So we're gonna do everything we can in our power to come out with the win.
And I know this may sound a little silly, I don't know, but TyTy, your first name's actually Tyrone. How did you get the nickname TyTy?
I got it from I believe one of my aunties and my mom. It's like I didn't want to be called TJ, so it was just like Ty is the first syllable in my name, and it's like I'm a junior because my dad's name is also Tyrone, so they just doubled it up and came with TyTy.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
John Hale, we'll go to you next.
I said, what's the key for you guys executing better in those close games down the stretch?
Really just being patient. Knowing our time and situation of the game. Like the last minutes of Vandy, we were still playing as if the game just had started. Flying up the court, rushing, trying to get quick shots. When reality, we were up where we could have just slowed down, settled down, and started executing our stuff. So we watched the film on it. We know what we had to do. So we know going forward that some things gonna have to change for us when we're in big moments like that.
John Clay, go ahead.
TyTy, how well do you know Kennedy Chandler, and what kind of player does he, when you watch him, what kind of player do you think he is?
I've known Kennedy since like 6th grade or something like that. He's a really good dude, really good basketball player. He's very fast and shifty. He knows how to use his gears. So I know him coming on Saturday, he's gonna try to give us his all so he can get his team to win. I'm pretty sure they're looking at it it's Kentucky. Who doesn't want to beat Kentucky at the end of the day? So it's just him and his guys are gonna probably come up with their best punch. So we just got to make sure we're ready for that and we respond. If not, we'll be the aggressors.
Any other additional questions for TyTy? Tyler Thompson?
Hey, TyTy. My nickname is TyTy too, so it's a great one. Don't be ashamed of it.
Never got you.
Tim Coleman was saying something about how he'd like to see Kentucky play a 4-guard lineup. What do you think about that?
You won't really know until you try. So it's just I know if we do a 4-guard lineup, I know we're still gonna be fine because at the end of the day, it's we always have the next man up mentality. So it's anybody's number could get called on any given night, and once your number gets called, not only the coaching staff, but us players too are like all expecting for everybody to come in right away and, you know, produce, like give us production in some type of form, whether that's scoring, rebounding, or something of that nature. So it's like we're not gonna like whatever the coaches decide to do, we won't question them because at the end of the day we're the players and we know the coaches have our best interests, so they're gonna do what they can do to put us in the best positions to get a win.
Last call for TyTy. Kyle, back to you.
TyTy, what do you think has been the most valuable thing you've gotten out of this time where you kind of had to be the guy running the offense, whatever Xavier comes back? What do you think you gained from it the most?
Probably I would say I gained a little more confidence. Gave my teammates confidence, my coaches confidence. So really, just I gained confidence from it, you know, in all types of form. You know, my teammates were telling me all week in practice, like you're like even though you're a freshman, like you still have a say so on this team. You know, you're one of our guys. So you ever have to say something, you know, just tell us and we're gonna do it. And you know, just having the coaches there, you know, always motivated me to be a leader and stuff like that because they understand like I'm being a leader, the team will still listen and everything, no matter how young I am. And that's like vice versa with anybody on the team. You know, anybody on the team can lead. So it's just like getting that type of confidence right there just, you know, always takes pressure off your shoulder and feel like you can go out there, you know, play freely.
Were you less comfortable maybe speaking up or taking charge before these couple games where you kind of had to?
Nah.
You think this like kind of unlocked you a little bit to step forward?
Nah, not really. It was just like, you know, we had Xavier, you know, him and Keon were more of like our, you know, vocal leaders on the floor and stuff like that. So it was just like from here and there, I said what I had to say, but really it was just them two leading. So with Xavier going out, you know, it was just really Keon. So I felt like I just had to step up and, you know, help not only him, but our team, you know, lead. If I'm seeing something on the court and I'm not saying nothing, I feel like that's only going to, you know, hinder our team. So over these past 3 games without Xavier on the floor, you know, we huddling up our guys a lot. We were talking through the huddles. During timeouts, we were talking. Practices, we were talking a lot. So it was just, you know, basketball is very important when you have good communication.
Jerry, I'll circle back to you.
Yeah, TyTy, I was just thinking that I think Coach Coleman and some of your teammates say that you catch them by surprise at the end of the game when they look at the stats. You know, they're thinking, boy, TyTy had a good game, but 17 assists? We didn't realize. How surprised are you sometimes when you look at the numbers?
I mean, I'm not really surprised because, like, I kind of sense, like, especially when I'm, like, rebounding and stuff, I kind of sense the rebound because I feel like I try to go down there and battle with the big guys, mainly Oscar. That's who I'm really battling with. But as far as like points and assists, when I look up at the end of the game and I see that, it's just like, you know, even if I'm not scoring the ball well, I always try to find ways to still help my team win, you know, be productive at the end of the day. Like, I want to be on the court just holding up space, so might as well rebound, get your teammates involved, you know, get a few fouls at least or something. So it's like, I always go out there with a winning mentality at the end of the day.
Thanks.
Anything else for TyTy? All right, guys, give us a few minutes and we'll get Coach Cal in here.
Thank you.